All right, everybody. It says we're live. Trying to bring up Prophet Easy One, Raul, and Matthew the Gamer. If you all hear me, I've already sent you the links to jump aboard. And I have to say, Brother Mitchell and Benji, you all have me cracking up. Noise. Anyways, real quick, I want to touch on this topic again, but let me clarify something real quick. The people that were in, here he comes. The people that were in the live stream I did earlier, the breaking news possible case in Wausau, Wisconsin, at one of the hospitals. I cannot say, due to HIPAA laws, etc. I cannot say which hospital, but once it's released, but I have a lot of people. When I said something about pray for my wife, my son, my dog, and then my cat, screw my cat. That's an inside joke. I brought that cat back to life when it was a kitten that was dying. Okay. It's an inside joke. And I saw so many people get so offended by me saying that, and I didn't notice till afterwards because, sometimes I have trouble reading the chat when it's on the side, when I'm talking to the camera and I'm talking to people. No, I love the cat. I just spent a long time saving that kitten's life, with Pedialyte, all kinds of stuff that, and the cat is huge, but he doesn't let me pet him. He's a jerk.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you know what? I saved your life, and you don't, it's like kick rocks, lock and load.
I love cats too, as long as they belong to someone else.
Right.
I love to play with them and pet them, but I don't want to have to be checking the litter boxes and all of that stuff.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I read the chat because I thought somebody said thumb down the chat or whatever, but it was cat. Maybe they spelled it wrong, or I wasn't reading it wrong. But real quick, I'm going to say this again. The text messages that I got from my wife. I can't, I'm going to read it to everybody. Again, if you haven't seen it yet. And you all have to realize my wife does not text me when she's at work. That's one thing she doesn't do. And she says, we have a potential coronavirus here in the ER. My wife works at this hospital. And I said, oh, that's freaking great. And I said, who told you? And she goes, I overheard them calling maintenance to get the room tested for negative pressure. I said, was the word coronavirus or patient mentioned? And she said, both. They said, we need to get this room to negative pressure. We need to get this room to negative pressure tested. We have a potential coronavirus. And this is, like I said, my wife works in the hospital, and she does the nasty stuff when it comes to cleaning rooms and using the UV lights, which I still don't think they really work, but they say they do. But when it comes to blood, when it comes to feces, etc., they put on those biohazard suits and they go in there and they clean it up. Well, now there's a possibility. But I had somebody real quick, they commented, and once again, sometimes it just shows how ignorant people can be. It says, pay attention to your wordage. You either have it or you don't. There is no in between. Get it? Thumbs up. Well, let me explain to you. In the process of finding out if you do have the coronavirus, okay, just say you have flu-like symptoms. You're sweating. You have a high fever. You're weak. You're vomiting. Either you have diarrhea, all certain types. And if they swab you and it comes back negative as the flu, and then they do the research and find out that you traveled outside of the country to, let's just say, Italy, Wuhan, the Philippines, etc. in the last 14 days. That's when the red flag goes up. That's what's happening in this hospital right now. Okay. It's not either you have it or you don't. It takes a while to find out if you have it. And so many people have tested negative for it. And then a couple days later, they test positive for it. And then they test negative. So for you to come on there and say, pay attention to your wordage. You either have it or you don't. There's no in between. Get it? This person just came in to the hospital. So apparently they interviewed this person, and apparently this person has traveled outside of the country to places that are infected. So sometimes people try to sound really smart and try to throw you under the bus, and they just show their own ignorance. It's crazy.
Well, I just this morning I listened to this head honcho from one of these hospitals, a very large one in New York, and he's head of infectious diseases there. And he was talking about these test kits, and actually the government had sent like a whole bunch to each state, but then told them not to use them. I don't remember if he said that the government was telling them that they weren't working or something like that,
right?
And that they would have more. No, this doctor is really pissed about it. He says our government is covering stuff up. Now he's the head honcho at this hospital, and on top of that, he said that they will be sending out a bunch of kits. And here's the thing: the reason they really don't want those kits out there, I believe, is because they're not going to consider them for the most part as having coronavirus until they're actually tested.
Right.
Where they can totally confirm it and see they're trying to cover it up here to make you think this thing's going to be okay. Don't worry about it, man. Don't believe all that.
Well, that too, but they have to send the results to a lot of times to the CDC. So when it comes to mail can take up to 3 days to get there. I don't know how they do it, but it's a minimum of 3 days and 3 to 5 days before they get the results back. Okay, so now they have this patient in this vacuum isolated room awaiting for the test results to come back. So to Anna, whatever your last name is, pay attention to your wordage. You either have it or you don't. There's no in between. Get it? You need to get it because they just came in today. They came in this afternoon or a little bit before this afternoon. This person, and apparently with a high fever, with the symptoms of a flu, but guess what? Tested negative for the flu. I'm sure they swabbed that person several times, and they probably checked and said, hey, where have you traveled? This and that. Now, if they say, yeah, I just got back from a certain part of China, or I just got back from Italy, or I just got back from the Philippines, or South Korea, bam, right there. Certain states, they're going to quarantine you right away. Other states are stupid and they'll send you back home till the test results come. But it's all about, so I started getting all these trolls. All I was trying to do is just say, hey, everybody, pay attention, Hey, there's your squirrels.
Yeah, they saw me come out, so it was like, feed me, feed me. Yeah, they even knocked over my little Buddha statue there. Yeah, I don't know. I think you saw that Buddha statue. On the front of it says, Jesus saves.
Yeah.
In other words, even Buddha got to admit that Jesus saves. That's what was written on the front of that thing.
Amen, brother.
Yeah. And I want to tell everybody, like I was mentioning to you a few minutes ago, I just finally got to see the rest of your video with Haven. And that was really good. And Haven may be watching. Haven, you're such a beautiful girl. You don't need all that makeup you got. Makeup's when you get old and ugly. What's more important is being a beautiful person on the inside, which I see plenty of that. You seem like you have a beautiful, a meek and gentle spirit, which the Bible says is a great price in the eyes of the Lord. You're very kind with that animal, and I'm sure you're going to make a great mother for your baby too.
Absolutely, man. She's wonderful, and that goes back to we'll discuss that here shortly when it comes to the Watchmen and stuff like that. Mr. Crying Tattletale, whatever. It's
Oh
funny
man.
that video I made where he turned me in. I'm fighting it to keep it up.
Yeah,
The
well, I
only
should have fought that one that they took down of mine. You suggested I don't at the time because then they would come after me even more. But I was of the feeling afterwards where if I don't fight them now, they may come after me again. But then the email they sent me disappeared, and I haven't bothered to get back with them about it.
right. Well,
Here,
I've
watch this.
chose. Yeah.
Check
Look at
this
that.
out. You'll come take it out of my fingers. You see that?
I missed it. I was trying to get the chat off the box. Anyways, people that are just coming in again, real quick, I want to say the cat comment about praying for the cat. Now I see a lot of people that got offended by that comment. They're not here. Usually they're here right off the rip. So I believe they unsubscribed because me jokingly said, pray for my wife, my son, my dog, and don't for the cat. It's an inside joke. If you've been on this channel for a long time, I've talked about Remington, little tiny itty bitty cat my wife brought home, and it was falling over. It had all crust in his eyes. I took care of that cat for a solid month and brought him back to life. He was knocking on death's door, and I call him a little jerk sometimes because he won't let me pet him.
Well,
I just want to pet you. I saved your life, dude.
I hope this doesn't offend people, but this is a little thing. Dogs. I mean, you bathe them, you feed them, you walk them, you pet them, you take them to the vet, you do all that, and they look at you like you're God. Now, a cat, you bathe it, you feed it, you change its litter box, you take it to the vet and everything, and it still thinks it's God.
Oh,
like yours won't even
absolutely.
let you pet it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're very they want to be loved when they
Finicky.
want to be loved, but if they don't want to be messed with, they're very
Finicky.
Yeah, finicky, and they're very antisocial at times. You know what I mean? But that's the good thing about a cat is if you leave out of town for a couple of days, you put enough food and water there in the litter box, you come back, they know how to take care of themselves. You do that to a dog. Dogs are people too. Absolutely. But anyways, everybody that got upset by me saying that, not one of them have come back in the chat. But anyways, I still want to talk about this coronavirus. Going back to people that sit there and say, "Oh, it'll never happen here. It won't, it won't happen in this town." Blah blah blah. Even my wife said that. Oh, you got nothing to worry about, because when she come home, be like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, get back," just put your clothes in the wash and then go straight and take a shower. And then all of a sudden, guess what? She texts me and says, "Hey, we have a possible coronavirus at our hospital right now." And if anybody thinks that I'm making this up and jeopardizing my wife's job just for views, you done fell and bumped your head, because that is far, far, far from the truth, especially when it comes to subscribers, etc. We don't do that here. Even if I only had, go ahead.
I know that for you, that was breaking news. You didn't get that one online. You got the breaking news right there, man. Yeah, and then you brought it to us, and we appreciate all that good news and how you always bringing us the breaking things. And you got a wonderful channel.
Well, so do you, Raul. My wife to brother, Bartley Willie.
Yeah, I was. I just did my latest video. In fact, I warned you, Justin, and I'm gonna say it again. You should probably get some of these herbs that I have, especially with your wife working in the hospital. And I did a video last night. What I've done is repackage some stuff for individuals so that you don't have to get a large bag of these herbs that you're never going to finish using up. And what I've done with the bags, now I just shipped out some stuff this morning. and one of the herbs I am now out of, but I will have it. I'll probably, if it's check I'm waiting for is here, I'll probably put the order in today. If not, it'll go in tomorrow. But I've repackaged this stuff, and what I'm going to be sending is I break it into tea bags like this,
Right.
and there'll be 5 bags that are designed to help your lungs, and 10 bags of the one to build your immune system, which
Right.
it's never taken that much since 2003 to knock the flu out of somebody. It usually would only take 4, but it would take 8, so I'm sending 10 anyway. And that way it's cheaper with me on the shipping. I can give it to people a little cheaper, and you still get what you need.
Oh, that's awesome.
Theraflu and Tristan and NyQuil.
I don't work.
It even tells you on the bottles that they cover the symptoms. That's all that they do.
Yep. Hey,
these squirrels are all in front of me. Go ahead.
That's awesome. I was talking to AB on the phone, and I even told him that's why I put up Time for Truth. Said, tell your wife to quit her job now. And that's what I told AB. I said, I'm gonna talk to my wife, tell her she needs to quit her job. But yeah,
the way I feel, because of my experience with these herbs, if I had a job like that, as long as I had these herbs, I would not even worry about it. I would drink a little bit each day and go in, because they've been the medical profession, not the herb people. They've done studies and shown that just taking echinacea alone and going into a room full of people with the flu, the person doesn't get it.
Right.
And these people, these were major studies that they did. And
right.
This blend of herbs has a lot of other things besides both kinds of echinacea, things that are going to help you and to build your immune system. Because as I said before, that's the only way to get rid of these flu viruses. The doctors can't do it, but your body has to do it. Your body has the tools to fight it. You just got to get it to fill that immune system to where all your troops come out, and those viruses just don't have a chance. That's why it works so quickly.
All right, I got 2 things to say. One, Rick, brother Rick, I knew it was you right off the rip because of your picture, but you changed Jesus Christ saves and loves us all. You changed your username. I already knew it was you because, like I said, your picture. But much love to you, by the way, too. Solid brother in Christ, very great supporter. And we have Donna P. How can we order when it comes to your herbs? And I'll have right there. I was going to scroll down and say, Mitchell, can you put Raul's? That's your backup channel. Okay, Rick. So I was gonna say, brother Mitchell, can you put up Prophet Easy Ones?
That's my email there, and that's where you could do the PayPal too. Or if you go to that latest video that I just did, you can. I have my address there too. So if you don't have PayPal, you can go ahead and send a check or a money order. I mean, that's what Mark Rouse did. Mark sent me a money order, and I'll go either way. And it took me a while to get the PayPal set up. And here I had money in there, and man, I still had such a hard time. And then today, even though I went to the bank to get the final information, but they'd already approved it, and I was able to get some funds out today, which was perfect time.
Have you got the check yet that I sent? Well, that my wife wrote out.
I haven't checked the mail today. It wasn't here Saturday, so I knew it wouldn't be here tomorrow. Yeah, and at this time of day, it might be at the mailbox. I may start walking down there, because if it is, I'll put in another order today.
Here's another funny comment. If you all remember the, which, actually it hurt my feelings. And I'll be honest with you, we all have feelings. But on the Coronal Fellowship News and much more video we did, C. Perry 511 that donated all that money just for nothing. I never asked for donations on here. It says, you seem high in this video. Did you spend money donated to you to get high? And then she calls me a fool. So my reply was, sorry to break your heart, but no, I don't get high. Y'all know that. I don't smoke weed or whatever. But I definitely suffer from daily, or I definitely or I suffer daily from severe migraines, from many head injuries. Blows me away when people judge. And the super chats only pay once a month, and actually it'll be a month before I get the super chat. And YouTube takes 40%. But you can believe whatever you believe. Only pain medicine I take is ibuprofen as well. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for the insult. I couldn't believe that. I was like, there's
Well, you
times when
should
I
see what
come on
people.
live at night, dude, my head's pounding. I can't even think straight, but I'm trying to bring people up, and do a live stream so people can learn. And then when my abscess tooth flares up, I can hardly talk. I talk funny, and it's
Yeah.
are you high? Are this? I was like, how can
Oh
you?
yeah. Yeah, I've heard you at times, especially late at night when you must have had the toothache because it sounded like you had something in your mouth,
Right.
and that's probably
Or
what
I
it
take,
was. You were trying to keep
well,
your tongue from getting to certain
because it's
places.
always it's always on top of my right here. But then I am prescribed sleeping meds for my PTSD. Sometimes I will take those, and then boom, I'll get a call from the Watchmen Project or something will come on the news, and I want to go live. So I'm a little loopy, because if you fight that sleeping meds, it can make you, um, loopy or slur a little bit. But that was the person that donated me, or donated the channel $200, $50 here, $50 there, and then all of a
Mm,
sudden starts telling me that I looked high and called me a fool, capital letters,
wow.
FOOOL. Then
Well, that's
I'm
like this latest video that I did. Somebody's getting on there. I think I know who it is because he's been trailing me all around the internet and made comments about me selling snake oil. No, these things that I have are not snake oil. I will have other testimonials from people. I just haven't had a chance to get to them because I've been so busy anyway. And they'll let you know how effective that this stuff works for these flus. I
right,
don't want you to just go by my testimony. Like the Bible says, in the mouth of two or more witnesses, let everything be established. So I want to get you some other witnesses, and they've already offered to be
mm-hmm.
on the channel. It's just a matter of me getting with them. And oh boy, like I said, I already have so much to do. You know, it's tough, but I do these things anyway.
Right.
And man, I get very little sleep,
Well, I
but
know
that's
you do.
okay. I
Real,
keep going. It's the spirit is what leads you.
amen, brother.
There'll be plenty of time to sleep when I'm dead. If I die, I'm hoping to remain until the Lord returns. It be one of those to see all these things that are coming. And
Right.
although it won't all be pleasant, I'm gonna love every minute of it. That's for
Well,
sure.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we are blessed to be living in the days that we are, to see everything happening, Like I said, look at, turkeys kicking up, real quick. Brother Mark's in the house. Crappy McCrappy's in the house. Pete the Patriot in the house. Sister Jessie Wessel. Wonderful Crystal Gypsies in the house. Scott, New York City. Bunch of people in the house. But that was a funny point. I thought the same thing. What's the point to donating than talking bad about you? I don't know. Blew my mind.
Well, they assumed, I don't. I hate for this to sound so bad, but I remember you saying that you were concerned about giving money to someone that they might use it for drugs. You recall that? I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but and sometimes that's the case. You want to help someone. Like I've had homeless people. They asked for money, and I said, "What do you want money for?" At one time, this is what happened, and I just got to get something to eat. Well, I had a lunch bag with me. I had a banana, several sandwiches, and some other. I said, "Oh, if you're hungry, no problem. Here." "Oh, no, no, I don't want that." I
Yeah,
said, "Well,
they
I
want
thought you
that.
were
Yeah,
hungry." And then he
panhandling
admitted
for
to it. He just wanted to go get something to drink.
right.
And
Exactly.
yeah, and I told him,
That,
well, I wasn't going to condone that, but he was welcome to all the food I had if he wanted it. No, he was just out wanting to get drunk.
that's how they get you, man. They especially nowadays when you drive up on the when you get off the highway, exit 89. You know, I'm talking about off I-95 down in Florida, exit 80, where the Harley Davidson.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that's just a little bit down from me. Yeah.
yeah, and there's always 4 people on each corner. You know, holding
Mhm.
signs, hungry, this and that. I'd see them all the time. And
Well, they're
one
happening
time,
more and more here in town where I live. You know, at several different intersections. You see them. I saw them yesterday.
well, there was one
Yeah.
guy that was holding a sign that says we'll work for food and this and that, out of that same crew that was always there. And I was like, hey, you know, I stopped because he approached my window. And usually if I got $1 or something, I'll give it to him because, you know, I went through that when when I, real bad alcoholic. And when it comes to detoxing, which is very dangerous, it's,
Mhm.
can be deadly. So a lot of those people are out there, they're shaking like a leaf. They're trying to get enough money so they can go get a drink, so they can get, push away their, the detox, the withdrawal symptoms. And,
Right.
but I said, hey man, I got to go dig some footers, just some bell footers around a swimming pool and stuff. I was like, it's right down the road. You can hop in if you want to work. I said, I'll pay you good. And, he's like, oh, no, man, I got a bad ankle or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I still gave him $1 anyways. I mean, go
Yeah,
buy
I'm
you a
running
tall
into
boy.
plenty of that. And
Mm-hmm.
I remember just fairly recently, I go to this place and this guy comes around the corner and he says, "Hey man, me and my wife were heading up to Jacksonville and we ran out of gas. You know, we if you could help us out, we really greatly appreciate it." I said, "Well, I don't have much money, but here you go. Here's $5." So I give him the $5.
Oh, I love
Well,
this story.
5 days later, I'm back in that same area, and the same guy comes up with the same excuse. So I said, "Oh man, you're lying to me." "Oh no, seriously." I go, "No, you approached me last week, man, right here in this same spot with the same excuse. You mean you never did get the gas yet?" You know. But then again, there's times like I was
Well,
doing a job out in Orange City, and this guy was sitting in front of this little restaurant, and I go
this
into the
is the story
convenience,
I'm talking about. I like.
but I come out of this convenience store, and I didn't have much money until I
Mm,
got paid, and I brought all my change that I had, and I'm talking I had like $6 or $7 of change in my pocket. And
right.
this guy, I come out and he says, "Hey man, have you got any change?" And I looked at him and I couldn't turn it down. And I thought, wow, he had to ask for change because I got plenty of it, you know.
Right, right.
And I said, "Yeah, I do." And then he starts telling me his story. And I'd given him several dollars in change. And he's telling me, he says, "You know what? I've been sitting here all morning." And this was like after lunch, because I think I'd actually gone to get lunch. And he says, "And you're the first person that gave me anything." I go, "Really?" And then he's telling me what is part of what his dilemma was. And he was working on getting a job and everything, but he'd gotten a tent, had him a place. And this was the third occasion that the police had come and found where he was at. They took his tent, his camping gear, and everything, and just left him back at square one. You know, that was terrible that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, God says that well, when you rob the poor, you reproach his maker. In other words, you're reproaching God when you take from the poor. And he also says that when you give to the poor, you're lending to the Lord. And
Right,
like I said before, if you're lending to the Lord, he will make sure you get paid back. He's not going to stiff you. And if you're doing it with a good intent and everything, he's going to give you interest too. You know, like
right.
what people call karma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Karma. It could be good karma or bad karma. And
Yeah. And
the
it can be
sad part is
multiplied too.
you'll have people pull out $1 or two just because they're doing it for the wrong reasons. They're doing it because they want to profit off of, thinking our heavenly Father is going to say, "Oh, well, you gave that person $1. I'm going to
Right.
give you. You're going to win a $10,000 scratch off ticket." No,
Mhm.
if it comes from the
Well, the
heart,
reason is those people aren't doing it out of love. You know, like the
yeah,
scriptures talk about,
that's
yeah, even though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all things, or even though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, and even though I do this, and even though I give up my body to be burned, but I have not love, then it profits me nothing.
Right.
Because some people do it like you said. Their motive is they've been taught that, oh yeah, if I give, God's gonna bless me or give me back. No,
Mm-hmm.
when you give not expecting to get anything back. That's the
I
way
was,
it should be.
I don't know if it was yesterday. Brother Michael's in the house. I don't know if it was yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Pastor Paul Begley was celebrating his 10th year on the internet. And so I clicked on it. This is no lie. I clicked on it to see what he was saying. And the first thing he was saying, he was like, if you haven't given yet, you can still give. Send a money order or check to Paul Begley, something, church, this and that. Once you send this money, you'll be, I forgot how he said it. You'll be like tenfold, but it was a different way. You'll be blessed abundantly, and something else. And I was like, man, every time I turn,
abundantly. That's what that is. You're going to be fooled abundantly.
But I used to love watching.
Just the other day, you and I were going to do a live stream, and I'd gone somewhere public to be set up on my computer, and I have a good Christian friend of mine who I told him that I told him over a year ago that Donald Trump said that he's never prayed to God for forgiveness, and he didn't believe me. He basically, he kept saying, no, he didn't. I said, then Ronnie, then you're calling me a liar? I said, I'm telling you, he said it out of his own mouth. So I've been wanting to show him. And the last few days I've been wanting to show him. And finally he says, well, I'll come over there and meet you. And that's why I'm glad you didn't call me back that day. Because I showed him all these things and he was quite amazed. And we had a great talk. And then his wife came and met with us. And it was really wonderful. We were talking about all these scriptures. But when he walked away, now his wife knew that I was hurt. And she said, well, let me give you some money. And I said, no, Libby, no, I'm not taking it. She said, no, I'm going to give it. I said, Libby, no. And she insisted. And she pulled out the money and was giving it to me. I said, you know what, Libby? I can't turn this down. I said, because I know, but this was sincere, that not only is it going to bless me, but it's going to bless you too. And she said, Raul, I know that it will. Because what it says in Malachi is that when you give, that it should be given back to you, shaken together, pressed down, and running over. And he says, and see if I will not. Now, preachers use this to deceive you to get your money, like Paul Begley would do. But he says, see if I will not open up the windows of heaven and pour you out such a blessing that you can't contain. Now, what he's not saying he's going to give you back more money. He's going to open the windows of heaven. In other words, he's going to let you see things in the heavenlies, things in the word that you normally wouldn't understand. And that's what he means there in Malachi chapter 3. That's what that's about. And while we're here, just for a second, Diane made a comment. I didn't catch her last name just a little bit ago. Wanting to know about how fast these herbs work. Like I said, for most people, after 4 cups of tea, 2 cups a day, it's already gone. I went as far as 3 days when my immune system was real low for arsenic, but the 3rd day, before I even had the last cup, it was gone. I didn't have any more flu symptoms yet. Everybody in the house who'd had it before I ever showed up, they still had it a week after I showed up. And I kept telling them.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
Yeah, but I wanted these other people to hear because Diane asked that question. And I also wanted to say another good thing to, I think he's one of your subscribers, maybe Disciple of Christ. Does he get into your chat?
Honestly, that name doesn't ring a bell.
Well, he's been on my
just
channel
right now.
If it was him, I wanted to thank him because he was defending me against a really wicked person that was making some comments, and that wicked person may have been the Watchman because he's been using all these different names and trolling me on all these different channels.
I told you he's got a bunch of accounts.
Yeah, well, I can see that now. He's gone on Mitch Reese's channel and said a bunch of things, and Mitch deleted his comment. He's gone to Mark Rouse using a bunch of different names. But I'm going to do a video for him later today. Yeah, and I'm gonna use the sword against it. I'm gonna give him, I'm going to give him the word of God big time, because he knows the word, but he's just a hearer of the word and not a doer of the word. He expects everybody else to go by it, but not him. He's too good for it. And it's because of his pride. That's what it's
Right.
all about. And I will be uploading a video later. I will be recording it. It's going to have a bunch of scriptures in there. And Watchman, Brett, I hope that you see it, man. You're one wicked, evil, deceitful man. That's what you are, Watchman.
Amen. A lot of people don't realize it, and they say, "Oh, which I understand. Everybody, if they're not being attacked by a certain person, it's easier to look through the window and say, "Hey, why don't y'all just chill out?" But when you have somebody that attacks your daughter and attacks you and say that you're going to burn in hell, and then go on all these different channels trying to get people to, hate on my channel and hate on my daughter, this and that, and then the same thing with you. If you don't agree with what the Watchman says, and just call him out and say, hey, boom, guess what? You got a YouTube channel, you're screwed, because he will. I'm talking about one time, that first time when you made me and him kind of like, hey, years ago, then I gave him a chance. But man, he was coming at me, bam, 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 with all these different trolls, all these different accounts. But he's so goofy that he says the same stuff. So it's like a fingerprint. You know exactly who it is.
Exactly. And that's how I knew who it was, because he would say the same things. And then he said, no, I've never commented to you before. Yeah, he commented. He just used a different name. A rose by any other name is still a rose. And he's one that's full of thorns, man. I'll tell you that.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, how sad is that, honestly, that you have to sit there and spend all that time to make different email accounts, then create a different user account. It's just, it's child's play, man. It's ridiculous. But I'm
not going to do it all now. But when I do that video later, I'm going to have a lot of scriptures in there that's going to cover all these things that he's been doing.
I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it, buddy.
I can hardly wait to do it. If I'd have had a little bit of sleep last night, I would have done it already. But I imagine it will be done before the end of the night. And hopefully upload it too.
When I saw that text message you sent me last night, I was already asleep. Just got off the phone, Bubba News. I told you I had a short window. I got to leave in 30 minutes. Bubba, you want to come up real quick? I love bringing Bubba up.
Yeah.
Well, I love bringing all y'all up. I'm just saying. But
I was with him on Biblical Ways News on Matusa's channel one day, but he had to go somewhere. So
he's always running. I tell you what, man, nobody's inviting me. Watchman Project invites me.
Well, when I get my live stream going, which I'm set up for it, and I was going to ask you about that. Maybe I should do it right now while I'm thinking about it. I'm set up for it. It says go ahead and push, and I can do it. But I think it's saying like it's a test stream, or is that actually take you to a real live stream?
StreamYard?
Yeah, with StreamYard. It's got the blue thing. All I got to do is click it. But I don't. It seemed like it said something like a test stream.
Well, they give you 20 hours for free. Then you got to buy it.
Oh, okay. Because my concern was, and the reason I didn't hit it and try it, I thought it was good for 30 days. And then you had to pay for it. And I was concerned that maybe they started my 30 days that day that I set it up. So all I'm going to have to do then, apparently I have it set up. I can just go hit that button and go live. But then
hey, Bubba, I just sent you a link. Bubbalicious. Hey, somebody stole my word. Bubbalicious. Diane Blue. Anyways, Bubba the Love Sponge.
Hello, Haven.
Oh, there she is, my beautiful Haven. I love you.
Yeah, I've seen her name pop up a couple of times here. I haven't been able to read a whole lot of it, but I'm trying to. Yeah, I can't see the screen, but I'm seeing some of the comments here.
That's my world right there.
Yeah. Well, the Bible says that the glory of children are their fathers. And I've seen that to be so true in my life, like I discussed with you the other day, Justin. Should I bring that stuff up here? I think I should. At least the thing that my daughter did, because everybody should be doing this. Now, my son totally honored me by naming his first son after me, which does not happen in my family. And it was an honor. And it put me on cloud 9. And my mother's the one that told me about it. I said, Mom, look, I don't want to seem rude or nothing, but I need to hang up and call him. She said, oh, yeah, you go ahead and call him. And when I called him, he put me to cloud 12 because he said, Daddy, of course I named him after you, Daddy. I love you so much, Daddy, that if I had $1 million right now, I'd give it all to you, Daddy. That's how much I love you. And I just said, oh, Shane, you know, you and me are like 2 peas in a pod. And he says, you
That's
sure
awesome.
got that right, Daddy. But let me get to what my daughter did. Now, to me, it wasn't quite as an honor, but wow, was I really moved by it. And she calls me, it was New Year's Eve, and the preacher said, if there's something you need to get straight with someone, do it by New Year's Eve. And I'm thinking, uh-oh. It was dead silence. I'm thinking, what did I do wrong? Did I forget one of the kids' birthday? Heck, I didn't forget her birthday. My mind's racing, but I didn't really want to hear the answer, you know. And so it was silence for a few seconds, and then she goes, and Daddy, I've thought about you every day since. So now I know, wow, she been thinking about me every day for 2 weeks, and this preacher said this must be something serious. So reluctantly, I said, well, Crystal, what is it? She says, well, Daddy, I just think that in my lifetime, I haven't told you that I love you enough times. And I just want you to know that I love you. And man, I had a tear all the way down to my lip on one side, halfway down the cheek on the other side. And these were tears of joy, you know.
Oh yeah.
And when I get off the phone, the guy, he couldn't hear her end of the conversation. And he goes, oh, you got some bad news, huh? Because he saw the tears. I said, oh, no, man. This was just absolutely great news. But the thing is, this is what I want to share. Oftentimes when I've told this, especially to women, it's an awe moment for them. They're always like, oh, like that's so sweet. But so many of them, they go, you know what? I need to call my parents and let them know that I love them. And that's what I want to encourage everybody, that you should be calling your parents, including you, Justin. And I know you have some situations there, but just let them know that you love them.
Well, I can't call my mom because she.
Right. I know that.
My dad actually, not too long ago, I reached out to my dad and sent him a long text message and left him a voicemail, and I haven't heard from him since. You know.
Yeah, well, I know that you did reach out to him. Yeah.
Well, everybody got real close when my brother was dying, and I honestly, I think that my family put on a good show before my brother passed, and then when he passed, it was just like, poof.
Well,
everybody, yeah. I was hoping it wasn't either. I thought it was. I was real excited that I started getting a relationship with my dad. You know, something I never really had, and hey, you know, it was. I enjoyed the time that I had to spend with my dad and my brother. You can call on Nene. She's here. She hears you. I know, baby. Nene, that's my mom.
Oh, well, yeah. She's not going to hear you now, but
my daughter and Haven, or my daughter and my mom had a extremely close relationship, which was awesome. So, but anyways, we'll talk about something else instead of losing people. But real quick, before I go out of here, Bubba jumped off. He took off. I don't know where he went, but yeah. But I got to get ready to go pick up Jax. But real quick, I'm gonna talk about the messages I got from my wife, who works in a hospital in Wausau, Wisconsin. I'm not saying which one because of HIPAA laws and stuff, but you know what? We have the right to know when it comes, not the person, nothing like that, but we have the right to know that there is somebody in our town or somebody's town that could possibly be infected with the coronavirus. So her message to me at 11:23 was, "We have a potential coronal here in the ER." And then I said, "Oh, that's freaking great." And I said, "Who told you?" She said, "I overheard them calling maintenance to get the room tested for negative pressure." That's what they do, is they put these people with this coronavirus into these rooms with they depressurize them somehow.
Yeah, they depressurize them so that the germs don't get outside of the room.
Right.
That's
So
what that does.
I asked her, I said, "Was the word coronavirus or patient mentioned?" And she said, "Both." They said, "We need to get this room to negative pressure tested. We have a potential coronavirus." And so
this is real serious. This is gonna go like I did that video. You know, I researched the Spanish flu, and I know a whole lot about viruses and things. I think I'm hearing Bubba. But anyway,
yeah, Bubba's up.
this thing's gonna kill many millions of people before it's done.
I know it's not a joke, too. A lot of people think it's it's a scare tactic, or it's a conspiracy, this and that.
Who is this?
You know what? Here's what it's like when they don't tell
Raoul,
you, when they try to cover these things up. It's kind of like if there was a murderer in your neighborhood and the police knew about it and they don't come and tell you. That's what that's like when they cover it up and don't tell you. At least if they tell you, you can be aware and you can do the right things. When they keep it a secret from you, man, that's the worst thing that they can do.
Exactly.
Honesty is always the best policy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, I agree with the HIPAA law, but when it comes to just saying, "Hey, we have a possible case," so we'll find out. I'm like I said, I'm going to keep everybody up to date with it, and hopefully it comes back negative. Because for the simple fact that I don't want somebody dying, anyways. But I sure as heck, you don't know if somebody has the coronavirus and they walk into the ER and they're waiting and they sign the paper and they're hacking and coughing and this and that, then boom, you just spread, and there could have been a nurse that was down there that walked past you. Then the nurse goes up to the pediatric center. You know what I mean? It's just,
it's like I pointed out in my video last night, that person could have coughed in their hand, and then they come into that counter and they put their hand on the counter while they're filling out their paperwork. And then the next person or couple of people, they can come and put their hand on there and they go rub their eye or pick their nose or put something in their mouth. And then now they got it. And now they're going to go spread it.
Well, real quick, I'm going to bring Bubba. I'm going to give you full screen there, Bubba. Hey, Bubba.
Yeah.
When are you going to do another live stream? Because after I go pick up my son, he's going to be, I want to play my video game and all that stuff. So talking about the not nano silver, the alkaline silver.
Yeah.
I saw you did a video on it, and you've got quite a bit of it that was oh
gosh.
I can't.
I literally could do 99 videos.
That's what you need to do, man.
And I'm going to. I'm nowhere near getting any of that done today. But
no, you look like you're not feeling too well. So
he tells, and I've been going, and people don't understand. People think I'm so full of it, and that's fine. I don't even care anymore. I'm getting to that point where I'm tired of warning people. I'm tired of sharing what the truth is.
Right.
Not against you. Not against you at all.
I'm saying I agree with you. We deal with that all the time as YouTube.
When I was in Lewis's live chat earlier, there's 308 people in there. People were in Lewis. He called, Uline. They ship you stuff. You can get the catalogs. He called the local like Home Depots and stuff. Everybody's checking on N95 masks. Everybody's out. We know this. People in the chat rooms.
I can tell you where to get the mask right now, and you can have them. It'll take time to get them to you, but these are antiviral masks. They're super high quality. You can get them for less than $1. What's going to cost you is the shipping. and that's at it's a company called. You can go online. It's wish.com. My buddy just ordered a bunch today.
No,
Wishes from China.
no.
Everything
Well,
from
I'm gonna get pissed. No,
yeah.
that
Well,
shit, and I'm gonna say it right now. That shit is from China. No,
I know, but these are military grade. That virus
I
isn't going to
don't-
stay on them. They're
I'm done.
cleanable and
That's right,
they're
guys. I'm done.
antiviral. So it's
Yep,
better
yep,
if you
yep.
can't get anything. And these you can clean up and reuse. They're supposed to be very high quality.
Diane
just
Blue
wanna
just
let
said
people
what to
know.
get.
What happened, Bob?
I've
What's
got
up,
to do
Bubba?
a video. I've got to get this out. People need to know the truth because people are dying. You guys
Yeah.
don't understand the numbers I just got in. Incubation period 84 days.
Oh, it's up to 84 now.
That's hard to believe.
123 days it stays alive now.
Well,
Zero
look at
host.
the HIV virus. It could stay in you 7 years. So that's that's not a far reach.
Yeah,
You
well,
know?
that's because your body hasn't fought it off. That's what that does. And this virus, man, it is really something based on some of the things that I've seen about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, Boo Boo. I'm on alive. Hold on, Mama Love.
it's a
getting ready to-
bioengineered. I know. Actually,
Does anybody want to go down a fun rabbit trail with me?
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Find out why the Korean student committed suicide last week at Arizona State.
I didn't even hear about that.
Right.
neither.
And she didn't commit suicide.
Which I was. Hey,
Guess
was
how many
it?
classes she is infected. Guess how many teachers. Guess how much of her fraternity will be dead.
That's what I'm saying here, Bubba.
I know, man. Sorry, it's not at you
No.
guys. I'm just getting tired of people that don't listen. You know.
No, I'm saying if this happened here in Wausau, Wisconsin, if this person turns out to be infected, you know, it's gonna be bad.
Well, you
because
know, telling how many people they've already infected.
that's what I'm saying. A
Yeah.
lot of times, huh?
Do you guys want to know how much of America is currently infected?
Throw it, give it to us.
Well, what do you say?
You won't believe me.
I would say over. I would say close to 80 to 100,000. Just
Yeah,
personally.
it's definitely way up in the tens of thousands, no doubt, in my opinion.
Keep this in mind. The
Mhm.
majority is in the largest cities.
Right. You got New York now,
When we're talking numbers.
California.
When we're talking numbers of
Mhm.
citizens in America.
Go ahead.
I will give you the percentage.
20% of our population, and there's 325 million people.
Even know it yet.
I believe it, man.
I believe it more than that
That's
will be.
why- That's why I couldn't join you earlier.
You were on the phone with that, getting that intel. Yeah, Jesse Wessel
when
put 20 to 40%. Go ahead, Raul.
When are you going to do your video, Bubba?
West Texas Danielle, my girl.
Bubba, when are you going to do your video? I want to see it.
I probably got to do the one just straight on the coronavirus. People need to know. I'm even, you know, there's so many. I just opened up my sunglasses I ordered from Amazon. It came last night at 7 p.m. It was sitting in my front door. I did not open it until I put this all over my hand. I had a protective coating after it dried.
That's what I want to get for my daughter.
I had no fear opening that thing.
What is it that you put on your hand, Bubba? What is that?
Alkaline silver lotion, hand sanitizer.
See, I'm sorry. I mean, so many of y'all, I know you like the silver stuff. I
Well, it's
don't
not
because
colloidal
it's a
silver.
heavy. Well, it's a heavy metal. In fact, the Bible warns you that your gold and silver will give you canker sores. The Bible even warns you. And when you start putting that silver on there, yeah, it's going to get into your system, especially when it's real small like that. It's going to be absorbed into your body. And even these, that video I did recently that you couldn't hear Dr. Bergman's stuff very well, but I did repeat most of his stuff. He goes in there about these hand sanitizers. that have BPE in them. Now, when you use them on your hands, it goes into your body and it can cause all kind of problems. And it actually even shows up in your urine if you've been washing your hands with it,
But
because it's being absorbed into your body.
well, they've done a lot of studies though, Raul, when it comes to the alkaline silver only stays in your body 11 to 12 hours. It's not like colloidal silver that hangs heavy. Then you have a heavier silver that's heavier than
Well, that's
colloidal
very
silver.
possible. Yeah, if they combine it with other atoms to make certain molecules, because certain molecules, like when I had the arsenic poisoning, now that was copper chromated arsenic. And the way that the molecules there are formed, when they get into your body, it's going to stick to in your liver and all your fat cells and stuff. It won't come out. But like I was mentioning recently, now if a fish has eaten it, it goes through a chemical compound change and it gets into your body. And instead of being able to stick all in your body, it can wash out quicker. So I believe what you're saying there. You know, if they have it formulated properly, then
yeah, it's
that
a
would
new
be
form
okay.
of it's a new form of technology. It's alkaline silver, which, like I said, when it comes to colloidal silver, yeah, it's a heavier metal. But if you go to Bubba's channel and you watch his interview with the doctor, it's a great interview, and the way he breaks it down, it makes a lot of sense because of how small it's like a nano
Nanopart.
yeah, it's super small, but it doesn't stay in your body like a heavy metal. Correct? Am I correct there, Bubba? Which
100%.
that's what, yeah,
100%.
and that's
Like I say, if they formulated it right with other atoms where it forms a compound that doesn't stick to your organs and things, then yeah, you could probably pass it out a lot better. But even so, you know, it's going to go to your digestive tract. It's going to kill off a lot of your good bacteria, and your body. You have more bacteria in your body than you have cells.
yeah, and they've done studies. They've done studies and proved that it doesn't kill the.
I'll check out the video. I've seen a few of Bubba's videos. I'll have to look at it, and I've seen other things about it. But still, personally, for me personally, I just wouldn't use it.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what the great part of this channel is. We all agree to disagree.
Oh yeah, I can care less. Yeah,
Bubba,
and I'm not
I
going to
think
say
you've
it
been
wouldn't
up
help.
too long.
I'm not going to say it wouldn't help with a lot of things. I just personally, I would, because I've had heavy metal poisoning, so I have an inclination against it.
Well, when that happens, yeah, you definitely. But with the alkaline silver, I watched the whole video, and I watched some of the doctor's videos, and you know, it makes perfect sense. I mean, you have somebody that's
if
selling.
if you want, just Google Blue Man silver.
Well, yeah, everybody knows that.
Blue Man silver.
Do you know why he was blue?
Because of the heavy the silver that stayed in his system because of I've seen it before. I just can't think right now but
he what here's what he did. Here's how he
started
made
making it himself.
He started making it himself.
Ooh.
He started out with muriatic acid. He then added a silver coin. He then would stir it up. This is how you get colloidal silver. Even people can make it today down the street from you using a cheap Chinese-made silver rod and a 9-volt battery. Have fun. Will it help? Will it heal? Yes. But when you stir something up, like Kool-Aid and you know, your sugar,
it all settles.
Say you just do one swirl. What's at the bottom? What's settled? All the sugar. That's colloidal silver.
Right.
This stuff keeps moving. But anyway, that's not why I'm talking about this. Here, I wanted to read to you real quick, talking about colloidal versus structured. There's a difference. The main difference, first and foremost, with any other silver compared to this alkaline structured is pH. Everything else out on the market today is acidic, 4.5. Our bodies were made and designed by the ultimate creator for a 7.4 pH. Even that pure water, 7. You know, we're hearing more and more about that. Anyway, what I'm trying to get at is this form of silver, the structured silver, and they have different versions. The silver sol, the solutions, that was a 2010 kind of a scenario. But here's the thing with the structured alkaline silver. It will not separate from the water in the same way as colloidal silver does. In other words, it's not like milk where it'll separate the cream.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
Further, this means that the silver isn't attracted to itself. So it will not accumulate in the body, nor will it become so large that the body cannot get rid of it within 12 hours in your urine. Essentially, what that means is that the silver in this structured form is easily excreted from the body along with the water. So that's the cool thing. And that's why you have to do the silver, I guess, the drink twice a day every 12 hours because you piss it out literally within 12 hours.
Yeah, it's a whole new.
That's what I'm like.
Well, for years, for burns, the number one recommended thing the medical profession would use would be that silver sulfidine. And that's probably is acidic, but the thing is,
use it.
They still use it coast to coast in every ER in America.
And the thing is, see, the reason that it works is because that silver is an antibiotic. It kills living organisms. And that's one of the reasons I'm against it. But it's just like taking any other antibiotic like penicillin. It's actually a poison. But if you take it, it will kill off the bad bacteria. The only thing is that you're going to be killing off some good bacteria too. And that's the main
Incorrect
reason that I'm against it.
Incorrect.
I guarantee you look it up. Silver is an antibiotic. It'll kill. Things don't grow on silver. You know. Yeah.
I'll ask the doctor with the 4 PhDs. He said that. Okay.
No, and I believe that it'll pass through your body quicker. That's all fine. And if you want to use it, go ahead. I'm not. I mean, it's all good. I prefer to let my own immune system do it instead of using antibiotics. I use herbs that cause your body to. They're probiotics. They cause your body to create more antibodies.
What's going on with? Hold on.
This is meant to supplement. This is meant to supplement. What have I said since pretty much the past couple of weeks? We've got to boost the immune system ASAP.
Yeah, and that's what I've been trying to tell people.
I agree, and I'm learning all about this nutraceutical stuff. I'm new to this. I got to learn quick.
Well, look at a couple of my videos where I cover some of that.
I understand, but this is why I'm ordering like microgreens so I can eat them daily, you know, for the benefits and stuff like this. It's just what I've learned about the silver, this colloidal, the alkaline, it does not attack good bacteria.
And
that's why the alkaline structure is.
Yeah.
Because of the perfect pH. That's why, because it's not acidic. It's not going to go after the good stuff. It's kind of like in our gut. We need to have that good bacteria. That's why every night I eat yogurt and stuff like that.
Then. Why does the Bible say that your gold and silver will canker you? Just with it being on your skin. And it turns people's fingers blue and stuff. Yeah. I just, like I said, hey, use it if you want, and it'll work on a lot of things.
Emergency declaration to bring in extra funds and personnel. It says right here, according to internal documents obtained by NBC, they've already got documents. They're going to do it. Now, how did they do it? It says it right here. It says Trump administration has to use the 1988 Stanford Act.
I'm gonna have to jump off here, everybody.
Okay.
I gotta go run and pick up.
Cohen said, "Oh, I hope they've been."
Sorry that it.
Easy. I just wanted to say one thing. I don't mean any harm, buddy. I'm still learning, man. I'm still learning, man.
I'm looking forward to seeing your video.
To them.
I'm still learning.
If you want, I'll leave the stream
I've
open.
been studying this stuff for 18 years, man. So
I know.
Yeah.
I'll leave the stream open if you all want to.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Like I told you earlier, I didn't want to get on for 5 minutes or so. I didn't have a 2-hour sleep last night, and
I'll be keeping an eye out.
Another video for tonight. That's going to take me a few hours.
Going on these executive orders, we got allows the government to over
all right.
Real quick. Now I guess I'm live. I got to go pick up Jackson. Watchman Project just sent me a link. Thank you. U.S. Army brat. All right. Fear no man, never fear death. You're right with God. Fight the good fight, and always stay locked and loaded. God bless each and every one of y'all. Later.
And pray and read your Bible and repent from your sin.
What's up, brother?
And Bubba's going to tell you, and take the silver. Take the silver.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Well, Bubba, I look forward to your